This is Emmanuel A. here from Malaya Systems, where we build systems that build brands online and help e-commerce founders rapidly scale from 6 figures to 7 figures in 90 days or less. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how Apple has slowly begun killing email open rates by adding new privacy features that are helpful for consumers, but are making our jobs harder as marketers. I'm going to break down what you need to know about iOS15 and how to handle it for your email marketing, especially with Klaviyo. So here's a question. Is this going to help us or hurt us? It depends on your vantage point. As marketers, this is definitely going to make it harder for us. It sucks, plain and simple. The open rate is something that we have used for years, almost forever, to help us optimize our campaigns and improve the effectiveness of our email marketing programs. But from a user's perspective, it actually is great. It's definitely going to improve the privacy that we have on the web. It's going to make sure that we're more private, we're more secure, we're less vulnerable. Think about it. Who doesn't want more privacy? In fact, as soon as I saw the notification when it popped up, the first thing I did was opt out. I did not want marketers tracking my email marketing. And then immediately the marketer in me went, dope, I'm part of the problem. So here's what Apple's doing. They basically are removing the ability for marketers to actually see the tracking that is in an email. So if you're not aware, the way we can track open rates is we put a little 1x1 pixel. Your email service provider does this, whether it's MailChimp, Constant Contact, Klaviyo, whatever it is. Put a little tracking pixel in every email that goes out. And as soon as the email is open, it fires and says that basically, hey, this person has opened the email. That's what's going away. So Apple's implementing what they call mail privacy protection. And so what it's going to do is it's basically going to open every email before it gets to the user's inbox. So what you're going to see is you're not going to see like open rates going away. You're going to see open rates getting extremely inflated. Essentially 100% of Apple Mail emails, whether it's on the Safari browser that you're logging in to see your email, or it's in your Apple Mail, the mail client, those are going to be very much higher. Another thing they're going to be doing is that users can hide their email address when they're sending an email out using an anonymous email address. This is not anything new. This is basically what we call aliases. They're going to give you the ability to create a throwaway email. So that way when they sign up on your form, they can use some random goofy email just by appending certain characters to the email address. So all of these things are great for users, right? They're great for people to control their privacy and have less marketers tracking them out on the web. But it's going to hurt us for sure. What are you going to see? A couple things you're going to see immediately because of these new changes. First, you're going to see much higher open rates on your email campaigns, right? So it'll be much more inflated, and you definitely don't want to just start celebrating like, wow, I used to get 15, 10% open rates, and now I'm getting 40, 50% open rates. It's not because anything special that you did. It is because of this new change that Apple made. Right? That's the first thing you're going to see. The second thing you're going to see is segmenting by location. So if you're segmenting people based on where they're located in the world, a lot of that's going to go away because it's going to be Apple servers that you're going to see, because Apple servers are reading it. So you'll see wherever their headquarters is up there in Cupertino or wherever that server is that is reading that email, not actually where that user is located. Okay, so that's going to become less reliable. The third thing you'll see is any kind of send time optimization. Klaviyo had implemented last year a really awesome feature to help you optimize their send time so you can know when is the most optimal time to send. So it'll send emails out over the course of a 24-hour period and give you when the most people open your emails. And so that way you can send your emails when most of your people are online and opening emails. All of that is going to be less effective because it's the servers reading your emails, not the actual person reading your emails. So that's going to be less effective. And then revenue attribution. So when people open or click, there's a setting there that we can set where if they open the email and then later on that day let's say they go purchase, or if they click on the email they go purchase, the open side of things, if you're tracking with opens, that's going to become less reliable because again, it's not them opening it, it's someone else. And so what may happen is you may see, if you have open attribution set up, you'll see much more opens, meaning people who maybe didn't read your email, but they happen to get your ad or they happen to get something else. The attribution will go to the email because they opened the email. So Klaviyo will think, oh, they must have opened the email and then purchased from the email, when in reality, they may not have actually even read the email. So those numbers will be inflated as well. So here's a bunch of things you can do. We don't want to be unprepared and we don't want to get caught slipping because of this and just struggle. We're going to be proactive. We're going to make it work for us. So first thing you can do is just get a sense of how big of an issue this is for yourself, for your brand. So the first thing you do, create a segment of people who are on Apple users versus the others. And so for your very next campaign, instead of sending it just to your normal segment, whether it's 90-day engaged or all users not suppressed or the entire list, split that campaign into two sections, Apple users and non-Apple users. The reason why this is good is because then when you send the campaign out, you'll be able to see the open rate for the Apple users versus everyone else and see what actually the impact is, if it's greater or less than. What we saw with one of our clients, they actually sent out an email and they did this exact thing, and it was dramatic. It was obvious to see how big of a increasement. So do this little test. It'll help you understand how big the problem is. The second thing is make sure you understand your baseline metrics. Like you saw in the example, I could tell this is what our baseline is, so that I knew the Apple segment was much higher. So as long as you just have a sense of what normal looks like, you can tell that you're above normal. So if you see an abnormally high campaign open rate, you don't want to immediately celebrate, right? Don't be caught unaware. The third thing, just any current segments that are built off of the open rate. So this is the best example is your list cleaning segments. So anyone who's not engaged or unengaged or engaged subscribers are usually people who have opened in the last 13 emails or opened 2 emails in the last week or whatever those segments are. They're based on opens, which now is going to become much more inflated. So your engaged segments, your unengaged segments, your list cleaning segments, sunset segments, go back and relook all of those and reorient them away from open rates almost entirely to other metrics like clicked an email, visited the website. Those kinds of metrics are going to be much more important. Abandon a cart, purchase something from you. Use those as your criteria versus open rate, because open rate is less effective. The fourth thing, and I'd say this is probably the biggest recommendation I can give, is to start focusing on click-through rate. So now whereas before we focus on open rates, trying to improve our open rates and improve how many people are opening our emails, we can't trust that as much anymore. So you can go one step further. So if someone opens the email, then we want to get them to click the email. A lot of people kind of sleep on this, right? Don't focus on this, don't prioritize this, and that's not good, right? That's not the whole goal of our email marketing is not to get people to open emails. The whole goal of it is to generate more revenue. So opening is just one step. We've got to get it delivered. So deliverability is important. We've got to get them to open it. Then we've got to get them to click it. Then we've got to get them to the website. Then we have to have a good website experience so that they add to cart. Then they purchase. So there's a bunch of steps in there. We're just now going to focus one step closer. A lot of people have missed that step of how do I optimize to get people to do the behavior that I want that gets them to the next step. So we'll send emails out and sometimes we don't even have a call to action in there. Not good, guys. Focus on getting people to click. Okay. Easy strategies, very simple way is to basically think about sell the click. It's important to, in your emails, instead of just having one big pretty image in there that's basically like a social media post, actually convince people they should click, right? Have a call to action and prepare the call to action. You can do the most obvious example is to have a blog post where there's a cliffhanger and you just say, click here to find out more, right? You cut it off right when it's getting to the good stuff and you tell them to click to find out more. That's always an easy, simple strategy. It can be annoying, and we used to have the luxury of being able to be a little bit frou-frou about this and conceited about it. And I don't like that, so I'm not going to do it. Well, we don't have that luxury anymore, guys. You got to do it, right? You got to try to convince people that they should click on it. Maybe you don't use that strategy, but you need something to convince people to click. Okay. Fifth thing, you need to revamp your A/B testing. So a lot of the A/B testing strategies of subject lines, right? So you may send out a campaign, have 3 or 4 subject lines, and you're basing it based on open rate. Open rate's going to be inflated artificially, so you can't trust that. So again, move your A/B testing from open rates to click-through rates to determine what your winning subject line is or winning body text is, and use that for your learnings. Click-through rates, not open rates. All right, sixth thing, your list cleaning flows, the actual flows. We talked about the engagement segments and list cleaning segments. Now your list cleaning flows. those also are usually triggered on open rates as well. So if the person is not opening the email, then you don't send them the next email, or you do send them the next email. One of the two. It's based on your open rate. Again, this is going to have to be really revamped, really refined, because your list cleaning flow is not going to work the same way it used to. So work on that too. Seventh idea that I've got for you to try, that we're working on with our clients, is to actually use more aggressive subject lines. So in the past, this was something we used to recommend simply as like a list cleaning type of a thing. If people aren't responding, then try to use more aggressive subject lines. But now we're recommending it even more, because if you don't know, the best way to improve your open rate is your subject line. And that's what we've always recommended, is improve your subject line. The best way to improve your click-through rate is to get a stronger call to action, sell the click. And the best way to improve your purchase rate is to improve your website experience, right? So those are the ways you improve those rates. But subject line and open rate visibility is going away. And you may be thinking, why would I worry about my subject line now and try and improve my open rate if my open rate's already good? It's still not going to be 100%. So there's still some improvement you can do. But more importantly, even though we don't have the visibility, we still need to make sure we're doing the best we can to get people to open the emails when they are actually looking, or when it does get past the Apple servers into that inbox. We still want to make sure people are opening our emails and are enticed by our subject line. Remember, a simple formula: curiosity plus benefit, right? What's in it for me, and give me some mystery, right? 7 things that are keeping you back from achieving your optimal self. Curiosity, benefit. What are those 7 things? How can I achieve my optimal self? Your curiosity plus benefit subject lines, if you're struggling at all trying to figure out what are some really good subject lines that'll really help improve your open rates and improve your email marketing, improve your click-through rates, all of those. We have 20 of them that we have seen have worked. We send hundreds of emails out every month, and we are constantly testing subject lines. We've got 20 of them. We'll give them to you for free. Go to KlaviyOROI.com. That's KlaviyOROI.com. And you can download those for free. Absolutely yours. Use them to help improve your email marketing. All right. 8th thing, don't forget about your flows. We talked about the list cleaning flow, how that's based on open rates. A lot of the other flows and autoresponders are based on that as well. So your welcome series, a lot of times we have in there whether the next email goes out if someone opens, your consumption series, your abandoned cart series, all these things have open rate triggers. You want to double check all of those and make sure all of those are switched out for more reliable metrics. Okay. And also improve your flows. We always recommend take emails that have worked well in your campaigns. This is easy, low-hanging fruit. A lot of people build their flows and just leave them alone. They just let them run forever, and then they're sending their campaigns separately and don't mix the two ever. We highly recommend your campaigns that have worked really well, that have gotten really good engagement, that you saw really high opens, really high clicks, really high purchase rate. Take those emails that have proven to work and put them into your automated flows. So your welcome series, your post-purchase series, abandoned cart series, all these different emails. Use those campaigns that are proven to work. And then the 9th one is to attribute your conversions appropriately to the most recently clicked. This is a setting that is in Klaviyo. The way that it attributes, by default, it attributes opens and clicks to your revenue. So if somebody opens it and purchases, it'll attribute revenue. But you can also change that to where it's based on if they've clicked, it'll attribute the revenue. So that'll give you a little bit more reliable information. Obviously, it's going to decrease the amount of attribution, how much revenue is attributed. So use that proceed with caution, however you want to do that, but that is also an option. Last and final tip, 10th tip, please don't fret. Don't worry. Don't stress out. This is yet another change. We've already had to deal with the iOS15 changes this year with Facebook. This is stressful. This is a struggle, but change is what we do as marketers, right? The landscape is constantly changing, and a lot of times it's not for the better. It's things that frustrate us, that hurt us, like a lot of the stuff that's going on with Google ads. You can see that we're just flat out losing visibility. We're losing the ability to do certain things that allow us to have more control over our own accounts, our own destiny. They're taking a lot of that away from us. So this is actually a change that's for the better with what Apple's doing. It doesn't seem like it, but it's almost like weight training. You've got to tear down the muscles to build them back up. This is going to make us better marketers. Because if you think about it, what does the open rate actually tell us? It's a crutch, right? It's been something that has been a handicap that makes things a little bit easier for us. It's a passive activity. Just focusing on open rates isn't actually helping you determine if that person is going to buy. It's not pushing the right behavior. So optimizing for that metric there is no one-to-one correlation. Higher open rates equals higher revenue. It gives us a better opportunity because more eyeballs are seeing it, but it doesn't necessarily correlate. But click-through rate is actually a stronger metric to look at. It's much closer to the buying decision. So if we can focus more on click-through rates, it'll actually make us better as marketers. It's a harder thing for us to get someone to do, but if we can get someone to exhibit a behavior that is active, like clicking and going somewhere else versus just passively consuming, they opened it. That's a passive behavior. So more active behavior, this is actually going to make us stronger. The better you can optimize for your click-through rate and get people to take an action, the better you will do as a marketer, the better you will be at making money. And with all this being said, the thing that I really want to stress to you is you're also not alone. There's help. At the very least, you have help with us. We have all kinds of resources on our site. We have resources on our LinkedIn, our YouTube, all these different places where we're putting all this information out, and we're here for you, right? And if you're like, look, I don't even have time to figure this out. This is coming at the wrong time, right? Black Friday, Cyber Monday is coming up. Why would they do this now? I finally got my email program working, and now all of this is happening. I can't think about it. I don't have time. I got other stuff to do. We can help you. We've put together a special Black Friday, Cyber Monday prep package that'll help you get ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It will help you deal with all these iOS 15 changes. It'll help you deal with all the iOS 14 changes on your Facebook ads. It'll help you optimize your website to help make sure you're converting as many people as possible. So when you get them clicking through, you improve all your click-through rates. They get on the website and they have this most seamless buyer's journey possible. We'll help you with all three of those things. We'll put it together. It's a simple project-based package, help you make sure you get 25 to 40% more revenue from email, improve your conversion rates, improve your average order value, and improve your ROAS and ROI from your paid ads. That's the goal of it. We'll even build you your creative assets that you can use on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok ads, Instagram, all that built for you, one and done, quick, simple package, and it'll help you make sure within the next couple weeks that you are fully optimized and prepared for the big holiday push to make this your best Q4 ever. So please do not let this iOS 15 update keep you from making this the best Q4 season you have had ever.